What's going on, you guys? It's Sir Scrub here, bringing you some more Scrub Tier Yu-Gi-Oh! In today's video, I'm going to be bringing you guys my casual deck of this format, Salamangreat-Metalfoes. This is just something to kind of play around with. It's not meant to be taken to any kind of competitive event. It's just meant to have fun with and mess around maybe at locals or with your buddies or whatever. But, yeah, no other exposition needed. Let's go ahead and jump both feet into this deck. This is a really fun deck. I've been enjoying playing around with it and playtesting the combos and stuff, and I'm feeling pretty confident in this list. Starting off, we've got 3 copies of Salamangreat Gazelle. Gazelle is probably one of my favorite main deck cards because it sets up so many plays. It can summon itself from the hand. It sets up your graveyard, and this deck just absolutely loves graveyard setup. And it's one of the best main deck monsters. On top of that, it's level 3 to help make some of our best play makers with some of our Xyz monsters and things like that. It's just a really, really fabulous card, and I really do love it. And it combos really well with Salamangreat Spinny, because Spinny can special summons itself from the graveyard. It's also a level 3, so it helps make our rank 3 plays and stuff like that. And even if you draw it, Spinny's not dead because it can send itself to the graveyard. So it's a really, really good card. It helps get you extra bodies on board. Next, we have 2 copies of Salamangreat-Foxy. It can net you a plus if you normal summons it, but its best qualities are its graveyard effect, and that's how it is with most of the cards in the Salamangreat archetype. It just gives you another body on board, helps you manipulate your levels. If you have one of level 4s but you need a level 3, you can bounce it and summon Foxy, and that's technically a plus. So 2 copies of Salamangreat-Falco just to recycle some of our back row. The back row in Salamangreats is probably the best cards in the archetype. It's the disruption. It's what makes the gears turn and stuff like that. So it's some really good recovery. And finally, 2 copies of Salamangreat Jaguar. One thing to note: all of the Salamangreat stuff I have just came out of the structure deck. Like I'm not playing anything that isn't out of the structure deck. So if you buy 3 copies of the structure deck, you can have the whole Salamangreat engine. And that's another good thing about this deck, is it's very cheap. This whole deck list is only about $60. And 30 of that is the Salamangreat structure decks. And it gives you these guys. Jaguar gives you another body on board, lets you put any of your Salamangreats from the graveyard back into the deck, giving you some recyclability and getting another body on board to help make Xyz and Link plays. That's it for the Salamangreat monsters. Now let's go ahead and move into the Metalfoes. So, starting off, we have our high scales, 3 copies of Bismugear and 2 copies of Volflame. Metalfoes, for those that don't know, most of them are normal monsters, and they all have the same scale effect. They can pop any face-up card you control to sit their fusion spell card straight from the deck, and that's it. They pendulum summon, they fusion summon, they make disruptions. The reason I wanted to add them with Salamangreats is giving this deck access to a pendulum summon speeds up the Salamangreats a whole lot, and they're all fire monsters, so there's some synergy there and stuff like that. Excuse me. Plus they can help make Xyz and Link plays and everything like that. For our low scales, I'm playing 1 copy of Silvered, because it's a level 3, it can help make your rank 3 plays, and 3 copies of Gold Driver. Gold Driver is level 4, he helps with rank 4 plays, and it's probably the most versatile. For some reason, Gold Driver is just the best one, but they're all normal monsters, so I like seeing Gold Driver. It's probably my favorite card of the archetype. For whatever reason, I have nothing to back this up. It's no better or any worse than the other one. It does have a pretty good 1900 attack stat for a level 4 monster, and it's just a good all-around card. That's it for the Metalfoes. This is just some generic stuff that I found lying around that I like. I'm running the Supreme Gate 0 and the Dark Worm to search it out, because having a 0 scale is probably the best low scale you could have. I mean, it is. You can pendulum summon anything at that point. And this also gives us some synergy with the Odd Eyes extra deck cards, because I'm also choosing to play a single copy of Destrudo to help make the Odd Eyes Synchro monster, so it gives you access to another piece of disruption. This is just like some filler kind of stuff. It's just some stuff I had laying around. It makes the deck a little more fun to me, and I like playing them. So there's that. that's it for the monsters. Now let's go ahead and move into the spell cards. So, starting off the spell cards, we have, sorry, a little disorganized here, 3 copies of Salamangreat Circle. Circle is the Rhoda of the Salamangreat monsters. It's probably, for that reason, it's probably the best Salamangreat back row card that isn't disruptive in nature. It's an amazing card. It gives you some deck thing. It lets you instantly fetch any combo piece you need or anything like that. Really, really good card, and it combos really well with Will of the Salamangreats, another 3 of, in my opinion. Will gives you an extra body on board, as well as it lets you special summons any monster, any Salamangreat monster from your hand or graveyard, which is really, really cool because it really helps set up your plays. It really helps get the deck going. It's a really, really good starter. And if you reincarnation link summon one of your Salamangreat Link monsters, it basically can give you like a mini soul charge, considering the one that I'm playing multiples of is level Link 3, excuse me. So it can let you revive 3 monsters from your graveyard. So it's really, really cool. I'm playing basically 2 copies of Sanctuary. The reason I'm playing it like this instead of 2 actual copies is this is just Ash bait. I just want them to Ash that. That way that Ash Blossom goes to this terraforming, which really isn't going to do me much anyway, rather than something like Gazelle or something like that. So you could just play 2 of them if you wanted to. I just chose to play the terraforming just for a little bit of head play, because now everyone has Ash Blossom, so we have to play around that. But it does what it does. It lets you instantly reincarnation link summon. So there's that. The 1 copy of Metalfoes Fusion for the Metalfoes engine. It does what it does. It's a fusion spell. It puts itself back, stuff like that. 1 copy of Monster Reborn for recovery. And 1 copy of Foolish Burial, because like I said, this deck just loves grave setup. That's it for the spells. Now for the trap cards. We're running a relatively low trap count. Just 3 copies of Roar, which is our interruptive card, and 2 copies of Gift. Gift is a little slow, but it is a pretty good draw card, and Roar is an Infernity Barrier. It's amazing. I love it. It's the whole point of playing the Salamangreats, really. That's it for the main deck. Now let's go ahead and move into the extra deck. Here comes your other price point. I'm playing 1 copy of Borload Dragon. This is, at the time of recording this video, around $30, so that's where the rest of the $60 price tag is going to come from. But really and truly, to have a semi-competitive, fun deck to play around with, paying $60 isn't that bad. But you can absolutely play it without this. This is not necessary. Because like I said, this build is just for fun. I'm not trying to take this to a YCS or anything. But, Boiler Dragon's a good card. 1 copy of Summon Sorceress, newly reprinted in Soul Fusion Special Edition. Fantastic card. Wombos your combos. It's amazing. 1 copy of Underclock Taker. It's really just a generic Link 2. That's all I really wanted it for. 2 copies of Heatleo. This is our reincarnation target. It's a Link 3, so we can use, I believe it's Will of the Salamangreats to get 3 monsters back after making it, and it's just awesome. And it combos really well with Balinx, because Balinx is also a terraforming. It instantly gets you to your Sanctuary, allowing you to just immediately turn the Heatleo over into another copy of itself and get all of that stuff live. For the XCs, I'm playing 2 copies of Mirage Stalio. I'm playing it at 2 because it's the best Salamangreat extra deck monster, but only at 2 because I needed the space, so I cut the 3rd one. Typically speaking, you're not going to go into more than 1, but the extra one's there just in case you need it. It's an amazing card. It's the MX Saber Invoker of the whole archetype, so it's amazing. You make a rank 3, you can get 2 bodies on board. It's really, really good. Next, I'm playing just 1 copy of Abyss Dweller, just because it's a really good rank 4. It's the best rank 4 I have access to, and I didn't want to spend any extra money. This is just kind of parts I had laying around. The whole Odd Eyes package, like I was talking about earlier, this just gives you some extra disruption, and I love them. They're fun to play around with. They're one of my favorite, just throw them in kind of engines, And then the last little bit of the extra deck is just the Metalfoes Fusion monsters. I'm just playing 1 Mithrilium and 1 Alkahest. That Alkahest is for disruption, and Mithrilium is for recyclability. They do what they do. They're good cards. It's the whole point in playing the Metalfoes engine. But that's it. That's all I've got for this one, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to see more content like this. Feel free to let me know what you think down in the comment section below. But most importantly, don't forget, be a scrub.